Yes! Yes. What's good, young boys? That was getting back in the building, and you know what I'm saying? Today was, you know what I'm saying, we got, the best news I Call of Duty will probably ever get. Again, honestly. Man, I had to let it out one time, bro. I had to. They're taking out SBMM out of BO7, man. Biggest win for the community probably ever. Not probably. Biggest win for the Call of Duty community ever. Hands down. No question about it. You know what I'm saying? This is just the best thing to happen to us ever. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, this is just, this is just their words, you know what I'm saying? Can we trust them completely? For how long will it be out? These are questions we should probably be asking ourselves, right? Be asking them. But as of now, you gotta remember though, for years they acted like SBMM wasn't a thing. Come to find out, SBMM wasn't our main enemy. It was EOMM, engagement optimized matchmaking, not skill based matchmaking. Right? If I'm not mistaken, last year they released white papers telling us why they have engagement optimized matchmaking in the game. And they were saying basically that the lower skilled players were caught in a loop where they would be matched up against harder games or whatever. People with skill they couldn't match at the moment, right? Get pooped on because that's how it should work. Then turn off the game because they done lost so many times in a row or whatever. So to protect those players, they implemented the system that they called SBMM. Does that make sense? Okay, great. You're not an idiot. That does make sense. Anyway, for what it is terrible as a concept for a game, right? For a multiplayer game, right? Because when you play games, what do you play it for? When you put in time and effort, aren't you trying to get better at that game? I've said it before, I have never taken the time of day to actually try to play Battlefield. So as a Battlefield player, I'm probably, on the lower end of the skill totem. You know what I'm saying? But if I were to actually put in time and effort into the game, I would be better. Just like with Call of Duty. Call of Duty using EOMM was saying basically, as you get better, we're going to punish you for getting better. As you get better, you're going to have to go against people who are the same, around the same, and better than you at all times. And then when you go on a loser streak, we'll throw you a little bone and we'll give you a game that we believe that you could do good in. So you can take a breath and feel like you're accomplishing something. But this is all rigged. It's a rigged experience. People didn't want SBMM in the game because Call of Duty has always, and pubs, the experience is mixed. It's a mixed bag. It isn't all the same all the time. You know what I'm saying? This gameplay right here. A 6-man squad of good players. I ain't gonna say decent because decent players get shut on sometimes. Good players will not let me drop 100 kills on them. Especially on shipment. Every good player knows shipment's cycle. You know what I'm saying? They know where the spawns are at. That good players can control spawns. That's how you know you're getting good at the game. You know what I'm saying? When you can force your opponents to spawn in places where you know you can kill them. Now they're saying, okay, they're throwing those white papers away that I forget how many pages they were. They're throwing that away, telling us that, okay, this is what the community wants, this is what you'll get. As if we weren't saying this since Modern Warfare 2019. Ever since they rebooted, they took the name and took the soul out of the game. They rebooted the name and did nothing else with it. That was a new era of COD. You know, I'm convinced that this is going to be another new era for COD. You know what I'm saying? Every few years or every 5 or 6 years they'll change something and then they'll go with that specific change for a set of years and then they'll switch it up and then go with that for you know what I'm saying? So like when did the jetpack era start? Okay, with Advanced Warfare. No, not Advanced Warfare. Infinite. No, yeah, it was it Advanced wherever it was. Where they started the jetpacks and the loot boxes. Everybody hated the loot boxes. The loot boxes became ridiculous over time. And then, they kind of, they was like, okay, the loot boxes will only contain cosmetics instead of actual great guns that literally affect the game. Right? So, in the effort to get you to buy loot boxes, what they do is they'll put you against somebody who has the loot box gun, who's killing and shredding you because that's what they're supposed to do. They have literally a gun locked behind a paywall, pay to win, in a fully priced video game. By the way, if it were pay to win in a free game, it'd still be egregious. But okay, you paid for it in a free game. It was a fully priced game, and they're acting like they're broke. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole mentality with the loot boxes, and that was a skill based matchmaking system in of itself. A lot of people forget that. When the loot boxes were in full effect, I'm talking about full swing, where nothing you do, nothing we said, they didn't care about what we had to say. Man, we were saying take the loot boxes out for years, and they kept them in. They had pay to win loot boxes targeting children to get their mother's credit cards. Sounds kind of like what they were doing with EOMM, right? EOMM was specifically designed to keep these shitters on the game so they can go grab their mother's credit card and, buy COD points for the new bundle coming out. It was the same. I'm sorry if you can hear the helicopter in the background. It was the same mentality, just implemented in a different way. They were still screwing us. Now they're screwing us in a different way. We took out loot boxes. Aren't you happy? But now you're put in lobbies where you have literal trash cans thinking that they're Scump or Optic or something. When if they were even going against somebody half decent, they wouldn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Now those kids, they feel like they're gods at the game, and now they'll give us our money, give us their money. It was another predatory system based off of psychology and not gameplay. Implemented for years against the community's will, and they knew it. They're not dumb. I'll never call any of these, suits stupid or something, because they're not. If they were stupid, we wouldn't even be in this situation. If they were stupid, they'd be giving us, these bundles for $2. Like back in the day. You see what I'm saying? It was all a grift. Since people love using that word, don't know how to use it in the right context. It was all a grift. And to this day, on this, immaculate occasion where, man, this is a great day. I'm gonna go to work happy. I'm gonna go to work smiling. I'm gonna go to work knowing that I'm gonna play Blackout 7 this year, man. For I'm gonna play Black Ops 7 probably more intensely than I do 2K. Oh man, you're in the loop too. You play 2K, man. Shut up, bro. Please. But closing thoughts here. Um, from what I didn't play the beta. Um, I'll play it on on release day. And I'll do what I do. You know what I'm saying? You put a gun in my hand, I'll get those kills, no problem. Just like I didn't buy Vanguard on launch. I bought Vanguard for the Christmas sale. Again, to this day, I want my money back still for Vanguard. I want my money back still. That game was so atrocious when it came out, bro. Forcing me to play Cold War for this whole time, bro. All these trash games, I keep having to go to Cold War because, you know what I'm saying, that's the game decently populated or whatever. Nah, I don't do that no more. There's literally just nothing but hackers in there now. It has been for years, but now it's all taken over, whatever, man. But it's gonna be a great experience, man. But with that being said, I'm gonna choose to be happy and hop off. Peace.